Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Mr. George Wacker.
Woo!
Welcome. That's your walkout music.
That's nice, I like it.
Is Do-Wackadoo? Is that the name of it? Yeah. You can pick that one out. So we're trying to think of a good, like we had Speed Racer for Justin. We're trying to think of a good name related.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. When we Googled Wacker, it got over
You get some
quick.
weird stuff.
Yeah.
You want to Google that with the safe search on.
Yeah, I actually have the same problem with Tickle. There's a lot of stuff that pop up. So it's been my goal to outrank them on Google searches. It's a losing battle. All right, so you run the blog Lehigh Valley with Love.
That's right.
Which this week won from the Morning Calls blog contest for the best news blog.
We won second year in a row with best news blog.
You won last year as well, so congratulations on that. But it's not just directly news.
Yeah, I don't know why we're really in the news category, because basically, if you're not familiar with the site, we take local news and say somebody gets arrested for doing something odd.
Stupid.
Like public urination.
Yeah, like peeing in the sands, for example.
Right, yeah. We find their Facebook profiles and then post all their information, not like their personal information.
If their address, phone number.
If they leave, if they leave their Facebook profiles open, which you shouldn't do. But if they do, you tend to find, people committing these crimes aren't too diligent with their, social media savvy. So we're able to post some photos and generally give you an idea that these are your neighbors. And
I can't see it.
And you live here in Bethlehem, right?
yeah, I'm originally from Lake Wallenpaupack area, but I live in Bethlehem.
Okay, and it doesn't just cover Bethlehem, right? It covers the Lehigh Valley.
The whole Lehigh Valley. So you're talking about April Fools. We kind of pick on Easton a lot. I did an April Fool's joke post last year that Easton had won like best city of the year in Pennsylvania. And then people were like, oh, this is so great. But once they clicked on the link, it was a big April Fool's picture.
Right, I think I saw the one you put up today. That was your favorite city, and there's so many ones.
I love going there for the nightlife and getting.
Yeah, I live right across the river, so I'm right there with you on Knock and Easton. But you live in Bethlehem, and you joke that Easton was your favorite city, which of course it isn't, because who would say that?
It was good in the daylight.
Yeah, when it's safer before the zombies come out.
Whatever.
It's infested with zombies. I don't know if you know that about Easton.
That's why the cops are shooting the graves.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Be safe.
But what's your favorite city in the Valley? Is it Bethlehem?
It has to be. Yeah, I mean Bethlehem. I guess Emmaus would be a nice second, but that's more for older people. I like Bethlehem. I like what's going on here now. Obviously, the Arts Quest Center, and there's always something going on the weekends. So Bethlehem definitely is my favorite.
Right. You like Emmaus as well. I've done a couple shows there, and I've been told repeatedly I'm too highbrow for Emmaus. I want to point out that we started this thing out with a poop joke about zombies, so I don't know how lowbrow I need to be able to.
I got a good poop joke.
In Emmaus.
Okay, well, let me set it up first. So, the Bethlehem police and I, we used to not be so much friends because I started a Twitter account for the police forces.
Yeah.
And it was going on, it wasn't appropriate. We were saying how they were peeing on children and basically like they were busting into bars and stopping fights. So the police asked me to cease and desist. And then I tweeted about it, and so NBC 10 came up and they did this thing. And the police were mad at me for a while, but then I started being nice to them and because I didn't want them to like pull me over for some weird reason. Anyway, so we're sitting at Joe's Tavern in Bethlehem. The police force walked by. And then right outside, it takes a massive poop. So I go out to take a photograph of it because I want to put it on the blog.
Why wouldn't you?
Like, who doesn't do that? And this is totally inadvertent, by the way. So the horse takes a big poop, and we walk back inside, and they're like, it's great that they're out there. I'm like, the horse police are always on duty. And I thought it was the best inadvertent horse joke. I didn't even plan it. If you ever want to use it.
Absolutely. We put it up for all to see. We will put it on our Facebook page, which you can then make fun of when we commit a crime. So how long have you been running the site? Like when did...
It's been about, it was 4 years now. I started out just, I wanted to do a little blogging on the side, and then the people, as it started, people were using their own names because they were getting arrested.
Right,
so they started
Googling.
They started getting really mad at me and sending me emails, but then, so they're sending their friends there. They're like, this site's awful because they have me up there, and then their friends would go there like, this site's funny. So So they're going to share it with all their friends. So it just started kind of snowballing, and now we do a feature every Friday where I'll go on Craigslist and find all the best misconnections. If you're familiar with misconnections.
I love the game.
Yeah,
Valley.
well, there's one of the early comedy shows that we did here at Arts Quest. They did a whole show centered around Craigslist, and that was a big.
That's a great gag for.
That was a big part of
But
it.
you know, it's turned into a fun thing where people will kind of get a taste of the news in the morning, then go read the real websites, I guess, afterwards. We call the morning call that.
Right, the real news, the morning
Yeah.
call. Yeah, actually, a friend of mine, back to the misconnections thing, he was a guest on the show, Eric Smith, who was on a few months ago. He runs a site called Miscorrections, where he's an English professor by day, so he grades people's misconnections, grammar and spelling, and there's not a lot of A's on the misconnections.
Some of them, it's actually like a fascinating sociological thing to go through those and just read what is going on around you in your neighborhood.
Yeah, it's
almost
also
frightening.
really sad.
Yeah, in a way.
That was before it was on Craigslist. There would be newspaper ads that people would
Like
take
the
out.
Lonely Hearts.
Yeah, it was pivotal to the film Ghost World. If you're unfamiliar with it, that was a big thing. That's how they met the Steve Buscemi character. Homework: go watch Ghost World. And also, the site does some charity work.
Yeah, when it started getting bigger, you know, we figured, hey, we're having a lot of readers, we're getting a lot of hits, we should do something fun. So every year we started doing the Lehigh Valley Would Love Prom, which we have at Molly's, which is right down the street. We raise money for MS. We've done that 2 years in a row. And we've also had a couple smaller events. We did a slumber party in Allentown, of all places, for cancer. So, you know, if you do go to the site, it's not just making fun of people all the time and laughing at them. We try to be nice too.
Yeah, and when you did the prom last year, you did, as part of the fundraiser, what you call it, Win a Date with Tyler Rockrock,
Oh, yeah.
who is one of the writers of our show.
I think this is sad. Is he here?
No.
Good. The girl who won, she won, and then she was going to
She won.
I don't know, she said, I'll go. And then like the day before that, she messes her. She's like, I'm so sorry, Tyler, I can't make it. Like, her grandma died or something. But I think she was kidding. And
So he got stood up on his
Yeah.
charity date?
I felt bad for him for a minute.
I don't know, not even for But that's once a year, and you try to do charity events every couple months.
Yeah, I mean, mostly in the summer. I'm sure, like, if you go to the site, we're going to have, during Music Fest, we'll do different giveaways.
Right.
We'll do a pub crawl because that's an easy and drunken way to raise money. I found out for fundraisers, if you're ever going to do a fundraiser, if you just include alcohol, it's so much easier.
Yeah. I think that, you'll be able to get Rock out for the pub
Right, you're just
crawl.
like, there will be beer there, and they're like, oh, okay, I'll bring a couple.
And even if you don't bring them in official context, if you go to all the bars in Bethlehem, you'll find them eventually.
At some point.
We're really riding them for not coming out tonight. That's what you get, riders, for not showing up. All right. So I know you don't have any specific charity stuff coming up.
No, and honestly, like, if anyone, you know, if anything's going on, we have a pretty good readership, and we definitely listen to people if they have any charity events that they want us to consider, because when we do a charity event, we try to put, you know, all our energy into it and, you know, treat it as a huge event. Like, I think for both proms, we raised over $6,000 each time, and all that money went directly to charity. So we're not totally mean. Just don't get arrested for doing something weird.
Right.
It keeps me on the straight and narrow too. So I've got to.
Oh yeah.
The second I get arrested, it's over.
Yeah. The
I have to
second
pass
you
it
pee
on.
in the sands, there's going to be a bunch of blood.
The guy
popping out.
peed in the hallway.
Yeah.
And I think the
That's
only
not where you're
hallways.
supposed to pee in the sands.
The only hallways in the sands are the hallways to the bathroom.
Yeah. So you're very nearly there.
You can see the door.
Yeah.
To the,
Just hang in there for another 10 seconds, buddy.
I don't know. Yeah.
There was another.
It's
There
those
was.
last 15 feet of it.
I think you were telling me there was an altercation between two elderly gentlemen at the sands this morning.
Yeah, I think it was 80 and 75.
So I feel like you got to give it to the 75-year-old just on.
Have you ever been to the sands at like noon?
No.
It's depressing.
Right.
It's,
Not their A game.
No, it's just weird because you know a casino, they don't have any windows in the casino, so you don't know what time it is. It's just a really sad. If you want to experience what.
If you wanted to
Really
experience
sad.
You just want to be sad.
depression,
Just go to the casino, and a sunny day preferably, so you can walk out and be like, what have I done with my life?
You don't need a casino. You just need to be the co-host of a pretend talk show.
All right, so you have any big stories breaking this week?
Oh man, what?
We can tell these fun people.
Actually, you were talking about Lehigh. This is funny, the